What's happening, everybody? TK here, TK and Drinks. We got another nope, not honest mead review. We got another one of our What's the Story coming at you tonight. Tonight we'll be speaking with Matt and possibly some other cats there from Funktastic Meads. They're in Virginia. Super excited to talk to these cats. Big in the trade circles, big in the mead, like the Sugar Belt Festival. I know they were there. They're going to be doing all sorts of huge things. Have been for the past couple years since they've been open. I think they've been open about 2 years now, and they're doing some monstrously huge things in the that giant berry bomb Sugar Belt style of sweet mellow mellows and all that stuff. And I'm definitely super excited. And they've got one. I think I got it back here. It's this one here. Check this shit out, y'all. They got shit that was straight up aged. I don't know if I can get the camera to focus on it, but straight up aged on bacon, man. He said they were aged it on bacon, not like smoked bacon, like essence or nothing like that. Like actually put the mead on smoked bacon. So I'm definitely excited to try that one. Hopefully it's a tad better than the taco meat one that I had before. So definitely excited to try some of the stuff from Funktastic Meads. We got ourselves a Sir Smorgasbord. If you check that one out, that got a lot of shit going on the label. That's because he's got a lot of shit going on in here. They got agave, they got blackberry, they got cranberry, cherry, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, coconut, mead, with other natural flavors added in there as well. So you can see they got quite the amount of shit going on there. It says there's watermelon, there's a pecan in there as well. They got some marshmallows. Hopefully they actually put a bee in there. They got some cinnamon. I'm not quite sure what that thing is right there. Maybe that's an almond. It looks like that could be grapes there. I mean, so this thing says Sir Smorgasbord. When they say smorgasbord, they mean they pretty much got everything in there. And the other one I picked up from them cats is the Between the Sheets. And this is a blackberry on blackberry on blackberry. Meadow foam blossom honey with blackberry mead and blackberries added into it. Definitely excited to try this one as well. So, as soon as Matt from Funktastic joins up in here, we will have him get him added in here, start asking him some questions. So, looks like we're answering some questions. Look, no, I'm on live right now. Bam! So, see if we can't get him in here. Because, yeah, I'm definitely dying to see what he's got going on. So, appreciate y'all showing up here tonight. 7th Circle. We got Weeping Willows. And hopefully we can get some more information for you guys. Oh, and I forgot, we got another one he sent me. He was kind enough to send me. I didn't, so I looked over there and saw it. An F&M, which is a root beer mead they made. So one of the things that really drew me to wanting to talk to these cats over at Funktastic is a lot of their labels and stuff, and a lot of their, I got to pull up here on my laptop, so I'm gonna try to show some of those labels when I get to talking to him. They got some pretty, like, I don't want to say racy, because like I don't know if that's like the right word for it, but like they got some labels that seem like kind of like they would be suspect of some like DNS or cease and desist orders, because they look pretty close to some like professional commercial logos and stuff. Whenever you're ready. So I'm sending him a message here. Should be joining up here very shortly. So yeah, we got yeah, so you know what, I'm gonna pull up some of those while I got this going on here in the background, because again, Funktastic Meads. Now I don't know how, I've always wondered how some of these cats get away with like selecting the labels that they do, because again, some of these cats pick labels that are very, very like close to what commercial, like other types of commercial products, you know, those ones that I showed you. Oh, he's trying, I don't know what's going on here. 7th Circle, Weeping Willow, but Jimmy, okay. Oh, here, let me see if I can't get him on here. Missed the video chat, no. Join my live video by clicking on my story. Boom, there we go. Hopefully we'll get him in here shortly. So, like I said, some of these labels that he's got on here just are absolutely... I keep having to get scrolled away. So, but the one that he sent me, the F&M. So if you imagine like an A&W root beer bottle, root beer logo, you know, that classic brown bottle with that tan colored logo with the circle with the A and the W in there and everything. These guys created their own one called F&M. I'm assuming for Funktastic and Meadery. And I'm telling you, how are those guys not catching a cease and desist letter? I mean, that is basically fucking the A&W logo. And hey, you know, if they can get away with it, all the better. You know what I mean? If you can sell enough bottles before the cease and desist letter comes in and before TTB comes at you sideways, you know. And I did notice someone says root mead. You can't put root beer on there because I learned that you have to actually put beer on there because the word beer is in the product. You can't hyphenate it, and I guess you could put root beer inspired like in quotes, but yeah. So I mean, there's a couple other logos that they have on here, like let's see here one. I guess you can only kind of see it in this logo, but like that one on the left right there is like that's straight up out of fucking Mortal Kombat. Finish him. That's Scorpion. That's the fucking logo. Those are the health bars. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily enough to be to getting you fucking caught up or anything, but holy shit, man. So I'm definitely dying to ask Matt about this. What's up, Tony? Thanks for showing up. Creaky Bones, appreciate you, dog. Because they're raiding like true warriors. Exactly. He's out there pillaging other people's intellectual properties and taking it for his own. So, you know, I guess it is what it is. He says he's seen the thing, so hopefully he'll be in here shortly. So you might have to search out and follow my page. All right, so let me, so the cat set out here. What do we want to open up first? We're going to open up two of these things. I think I'm definitely going to be doing the root beer one because that was in the can, and I want to talk to him about that and everything like that, but we got other ones back here. So I'm going to do either the Sir Smorgasbord, or we're doing the, we own a meatery. So what do we want to do? Anybody's out there want to throw a vote in? Do you want to see the Smorgasbord opened up? Do you want to see the meatery opened up? Do. Wish I had that freaking Jeopardy music. We could throw that on there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, there we go. Funktastic Meads is in the building. Sir Smorgasbord. We got one vote for Sir Smorgasbord. 7th circle. Send that invite, baby. There it is. Hey, there we go.
What's up, man?
What's going on, Matt? Appreciate you joining me tonight, brother.
No problem.
Excellent. So I was just going over while we were waiting. I was looking at some of your guys' previous labels and some of the artwork that you guys use some of your bottles. And man, that's one of the things that first drew me to you guys is your guys' artwork looks suspiciously commercial in some aspects.
Yeah, so the artwork, we got partnered with Johnny Seal out of New York. He's basically, in the past, he was an aspiring tattoo artist, and he's been killing labels for us. So
Nice. Now, my main question when I was talking to some of these other cats that were here about was like, this one here in particular seems like it might have came with a cease and desist letter at some point before maybe the bottles were not all sold out.
no, actually,
Word?
no, we've been flying under the radar with that one.
Hell yeah.
We're just a small guy, so
Gotcha.
But I can tell you this: we did our best to capture root beer in a mead. So we think we did a pretty damn good job of it.
Yeah, and I notice on the bottle it doesn't say root beer on there anywhere because TTB is not going to let you throw the word beer on there because there's no beer in your mead.
Yeah, so technically the word mead is also not allowed according to the TTB. It depends on if you're shipping If you're shipping meads across state lines, then it's not allowed, but certain states will allow you to use the term mead. So according to the TTP, a mead is only water, honey, yeast, and some hops. Outside of that, it's a honey wine.
Gotcha.
Per the technical definition. So.
Yeah, and they like to get technical in the stupidest sense of the fashion.
Yep. That's
So,
all right. I mean, you spend enough time on the phone with TTB agents from the formula department and the label department, you start to become an expert yourself. So.
gotcha, man. Yeah, filling out them cola applications and shit. You're like, you know what? I know where I can push my boundaries and where I can't.
Yep. Yep.
Before we get too far into this, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and give a little history on the funktasticness there?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Matt. Funktastic Meads. Let's see here. I started as a home mead maker about 6 years ago, just for fun. I was introduced to mead, and at the point I was introduced to mead, I was saying to myself, look, there's no reason you can't have as much fun with adjuncts in meads as you can with beer. So from the get-go, we were sort of pushing the boundaries in terms of what can be added into meads, what can't be added into meads, why, that kind of stuff. So so we were home mead making. A couple of us were home mead making just for fun. And then in 2020, we had partnered with a local winery in Amherst, Virginia. Is about an hour and a half from where I live. And we started making commercially. And we were selling online via the winery. We're selling using, it wasn't Eventbrite, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
And we were doing really well. We were releasing like 200 bottles a month, something like that. And then in 2020, we decided that we were going to do this for real. So
For realsy reals?
Yep. So we decided that in January, started all the paperwork in March, got the build out done by August, and got the build out started in August, got it finished by December, and then opened January 2022. So.
Man. So you guys have only been commercially open for about 6 months now, 7 months.
Yep. Yep.
And that's got to be a whole wild ride all along, I'm sure.
It's 9 o'clock and I'm here, and I have a full-time job outside of this. So it's so it's a lot, but.
Well, I certainly appreciate you, and everybody here appreciates you giving us your time tonight, brother.
Yep, no problem.
So let's while we're going back into that F&M, you were got one of those in the package that I ordered there. I was going over some of the meads that we'd sent in, and this is one I definitely wanted to get into because I haven't had a root beer mead yet, and everybody, especially in the comments here, is saying that this is the one that tastes like just like A&W. Oh my God, it smells just like A&W root beer right out the can. Now, did you guys with a little bit of a honey back on it?
Yeah.
Did you guys look up the A&W recipe or do any research on that, or did you kind of just freeball it, so to speak?
Yeah, so I'm a chemist by training.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah, essentially broke it down into its parts. But yeah, so the most important thing being the residual sugar content of A&W root beer, and matching that to what we were doing. And then the flavor's got to be spot on. So there's some.
That's legit as fuck, bro.
Yeah, so there's some really good root beer flavors out there. Not one of them is A&W root beer, so it's about it's about combining things and trying to find the best combination of flavors. So I think we hit it pretty well. When we pour it on tap, it's got a nice A&W root beer head on it. So yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, there's just a little pinch of you get the little extra stronger honey character in there and a few other little things, but I mean that's like 97% the way there, brother.
Yep. Yep, and you know,
Holy crap!
we did a special one weekend where we took our neighbor in the plaza we're in is Cold Stone ice cream. So we
Yeah.
took we took their vanilla ice cream and made root beer floats here at the meadery. So that went over pretty well.
Oh, I bet that did. Well, phenomenal! Holy Christmas! That was a great idea.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
is this a flavor that you had worked on when you were a home brewer as well, and you wanted to scale up to a commercial batch, or is this something that just kind of struck you as like a aha moment type of thing?
So we did it as I did it as a home brewer or a home mead maker,
Yeah.
but the ABV was 12% at the time. So we knocked it down to 6.5%, made it a little bit made it a little bit more sessionable, and quite frankly, I think it works a little bit better with A&W root beer. You know, like everybody knows not your father's root beer and
Yeah.
grandpa's root beer, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
you know, it's one thing to make something like that, but it's got to taste like root beer. And that's one thing that I think a number of those making alcoholic root beers struggle with.
I could not have, like, you took all the thoughts I could never like fully put into coherent sentences and just did it for me, because I'm a huge fan of like commercial like soda root beers and stuff like that, but any of those hard ones, and even like personally like dad's old fashioned root beer and stuff, like it's got an acquired taste, I understand, but like none of them ever hit that like true like root beer mark, like the A&W style old fashioned root beer. And it just, I always found it like a bit egregious to the style. It's like, you're doing everything it just justice by calling this root beer. But like, no, you truly have nailed this. And everybody in the comments, like I said, who was saying that this is the one, I agree. You guys, everybody's right. This is the business right here. Holy cow, my man.
Appreciate it.
So, when was, so you said you did commercial you started filling out the commercial paperwork in 2020, got certified in 2022, and you guys have pretty much been going nonstop since then. I've been pulling up your page here. We got bottle release after bottle release after bottle release. You got the Mother's Day specials, the Father's Day special. That was one I was really bummed I didn't get in on, was that Blacker the Berry Father's Day bottle. I don't know if anybody's seen that one, but that is such a sexy bottle. I don't know who came up with that idea for that bottle, but
Yeah. So that's a fun one for sure. We've got you know, even though you missed that one, we've got at the end of July we're releasing. So we took some Blacker the Berry. You know, we're a small batch house, right? So we're doing somewhere between 15 and 50 gallons per batch.
sure.
So we took some of the Blacker the Berry, and we took that mead, and then we aged it on toasted sweetened coconut, raw coconut, and cinnamon. So we've got a bottle coming out the end of July called Cocoa Black. So that is essentially Blacker the Berry with all those other flavors in it. So it's also a super unique mead. So, and you know, as you mentioned, for us, labels, so names, labels, marketing, that's kind of the fun stuff for me. You know, my full-time job, I'm in chemical sales, but you know, I have a ton of fun with marketing, coming up with cool minor things for labels and things like that. So for the Cocoa Black label, for instance, we've got a coconut, and then right in front of the coconut is the blackberry from the Blacker the Berry, but we cut the blackberry out in the label so that the black color of the mead shines through the label. So, you know, just doing super subtle things like that.
Right. No, that's rad. Is that in a wax dip bottle as well?
Yeah, I did wax dip it. Yep.
Oh, right on.
It's pretty much completely black. It's not powder coated like the Blacker the Berry bottle, but it's a dark antique green bottle, and when you put mead in it, it looks completely black. So
I can imagine. One of the other ones that caught my eye was oh crap, totally missed out. The King, oh damn it, the King Kong ain't got shit on me label.
Yeah, no,
With,
you didn't miss out on that. That was a teaser. Yeah.
okay, I didn't miss out on that one as a teaser.
No, so we just removed the double stuffed Oreos from that mead today. So
Oh,
it'll probably be 2 or 3 months before it gets released. We got some work to do on it, as you might imagine. Double stuffed Oreos and mead don't go along particularly well.
right. Would you just throw those in a hot bag or something like that?
That's all we did.
Oh, that's gonna be like cleaning a sledge out of the bottom.
Yeah, the most important part is the base, though. The base is a badass banana mead, so it's banana and double Oreos. So
Was that in bananas in primary and secondary, or
yeah,
post?
yeah, yeah. And it's a lot of work. So I take the bananas, freeze them, slightly thaw them and peel them,
Mm-hmm.
and then fry them before we even use it. So that was 60 pounds of bananas doing that. So that was hours and hours of cooking bananas.
I can only imagine. That was going to be my next question. Did you do them up like that? And it sounds like you did them up the way that you need to do them up to get that desired flavor out of that.
Yep. So we want bananas, not banana runts.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, exactly. One of my favorite banana meads I've had so far was from Manic Meader. He had this like it was a bananas Foster mead. That thing was, oh my god, it's just I couldn't even believe how amazing that shit was.
Yep.
I can imagine that would be an inspiration of yours.
Yeah, those guys know what they're doing. That's for sure. So
yeah, Tony probably in my top 5 favorite mead makers right now for sure.
Yeah, we've got 4 banana meads coming. We've got barrel, which is bourbon barrel, banana, cinnamon, vanilla. We've got It's Not a Camper, It's a Winnebago, which is bourbon barrel, banana, peanut butter, marshmallow.
Nice.
We've got King Kong Ain't Got Shit on Me, which is the one you just referenced.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a very small batch for I think for the Answer anniversary party in September, called Mr. Tallyman, which is gonna be banana, maple, cinnamon. So.
Oh, okay. There we go. Oh yeah, see, I just picked up an Answer, like a 34-ounce beer glass. It's got the Battle Toads on it, jumping over a hop. Those guys are the business. How'd you get linked up with those cats? Because they're in the area.
I spend as much time at the Answer as I do at my own meadery. So.
Well played, brother. Well played.
Yeah, so I'm a craft beer nerd at heart. So that's kind of my introduction in all this was definitely craft beer.
We'll have to get you a craft beer package from Arizona then. Get some SoCal stuff and some Arizona stuff.
Yeah, so I'm actually a Modern Times member.
Okay.
So it's craft beer is something that I've been into for the last probably 15 years. So it's been it's been a big part of my life, and made a lot of really good friends. Been to a lot of festivals, and On from the Answer, I would say, is one of my best beer friends, which I can tell you he's a good one to have because he's got a lot of knowledge, and we talk adjuncts on a regular basis. So
I would definitely think that would be a good person to bounce ideas off of and kind of just get feedback from in general.
Yeah.
So I'd also asked before you had joined in what mead these cats wanted to see opened up. They voted for Sir Smorgasbord. What's your vote for? They voted for that over the meadery one too.
Well, this is my opinion. There's no reason not to open both of them. It's mead. You can throw the cork back in and throw it back in the refrigerator. So.
Right. So in that case, let's go with that meadery first, because I definitely want to get. I don't want any of those loose, subtle bacony notes getting lost under that giant berry bomb.
Yep. So Sir Smorgasbord is definitely our most popular.
Oh, okay.
That's our number one mead, followed by Blacker the Berry. We own a meadery, man. That just came about. I tell people I own a meadery, and automatically their mind goes. The first thing that their mind goes to is sausages and ribeyes, and it's like, dude, nobody calls a place where you go to buy meat a meadery, a butchery, deli, and
Carniceria.
So I called Andrew from Four Fires, and I was like, "Hey man, does this happen to you?" And he's like, "Yeah, it happens all the time." And I was like, "I have this idea for a mead. Would you be interested in collabing?" And so that mead is mesquite blossom honey, and then we made a sweet mead, and then we aged it on smoked bacon, vanilla and maple syrup. So.
And you said that was with the cats over at Four Fires?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris, that dude is on a whole nother level when it comes to weird ass adjuncts and just like eccentric ass stuff. You see that 1,000-hour bochet he did?
Yeah. It's just
like,
stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Tupelo honey and meadow foam honey and blackberry blossom honey and bochet it for 1,000 hours until it comes out like glass.
And he did. Like, that was no bullshit. It was there for he bochetted it for 1,000 hours.
Yeah. Oh, he hasn't released that one yet. He Loves Beer. That one is going to be, from what I understand, is going to be not even for their Mead Club, for their Founders Club only. He said he might do another one that he, gets out to at least the Mead Club and stuff. So definitely super heavy on that barbecue nose. I like that. It definitely smells like was that like a maple bacon or a?
No. So one of my friends owns a food truck, and he does smoked meats and stuff. So he smoked the bacon, Marvinson Barbecue.
I would say Marvinson's Barbecue. Definitely give them a shout out there. Okay, so he smokes the bacon. You guys get it. You have this sweet mead that was done with mesquite blossom honey. You age the mead on the bacon, and do you put the vanilla and the maple syrup and all that stuff in too, or do you pull it off the bacon before you do that?
We pulled it off the bacon first. To be honest with you, we had no idea what the hell was going to happen. So
sure,
bacon went in a mesh bag. Interestingly enough, all the oils from the bacon basically congealed in the bag, never left the bag. So we had almost no oil. In the mead. So it worked really well. It smells like bacon, tastes like bacon, doesn't have any oil presence. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, my goodness.
So we entered that in the Great American Wine Festival and won bronze with that one. So
that's understandable.
I was having fun with it. I was like, you know what? We're gonna fuck the palates up of all the sommeliers there and throw this unmarked bacon mead into the mix.
And it came out with a third place, huh?
Yeah.
No, I like it. Doesn't have too heavy of a mouthfeel on it. It's got just the right amount of residual sugar.
Yep.
You get the bacon character, but it's not overwhelming. Doesn't come across like you said, doesn't come across greasy or fatty or anything like that. It's just the flavor of the bacon, the sweet meat body feel. Man, I'm a huge fan of this. You have a way of making mead, my man. Holy cow.
We took we made a mead in the tap room specifically called Super Incognito. So we took that mead and then we added peach habanero peppers to it, and that was a nice addition to that mead. Yeah,
I was gonna say, because if anything, it could use a pinch of maybe a pinch of acidity, maybe a tiny bit of tannic presence on the back end. But I mean, the bacon, the maple, the vanilla, that's all there. That's holy cow, brother. That's freaking awesome.
Spice helps. The spice helped with that. Getting tannins out of bacon is a difficult measure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would definitely require some oak chips or something in there to give it some sort of tannic presence. But no, that is really a really fantastically put together mead, very well developed flavor profile to it. I like the way that it comes across. You thought about doing any other crazy adjunct one, or is this the first one that the only one that you had in mind? But now you're like, hey man, this one took a bronze. It's getting a lot of accolades. Maybe we'll try something even on the funkier side.
Yeah, we as we were making that one and it was coming out, we threw out the ideas of maybe a brisket mead. I don't know. We'll see.
A brisket mead, okay. So yeah, I've had as far as like the more odd flavored ones, Unpossible there in Illinois, he does a green tomato mead called the Love Apple. That one's pretty legit. I like that one.
Yeah.
And there's a spot up in Washington State, Opagard Meadery. He's got two. He does a taco meat flavored one, so it's like cumin, bay leaves, red pepper, garlic, and then he does another one he's got on tap right now called Viking's Breath. It's a garlic bread inspired flavor profile.
Okay.
And I hear that one's actually the one to get. That taco one I had at was not not for me anyway. There's a lot of people that do like it. I guess it does okay when you're cooking with it, but I'm telling you, man, that garlic bread one at least sounds legit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so, you know, as far as the super crazy, I mean, quite frankly, I think banana and double stuffed Oreos is pretty crazy when it comes
Right.
to, you know, yeah, easy stuff for beer, but you know, I think that's sort of falls into that crazy category. So
No, that's something that I hear a lot of home brewers turn mead makers, or at least home brewers turn professionals say. You know, they almost always say that doing the mead style stuff is significantly easier, be it the adding the adjuncts or just the fermenting process, the getting the end result to match the initial desired product. Again, seems to be easier with the mead. You think otherwise?
I think both beer and mead has its challenges. The nice thing about mead, you don't have that. You don't have the malts. You don't have the hops always constantly in the background.
Right.
So that's nice. But you know, to get I take Sir Smorgasbord as an example. To get 18-ish adjuncts into a mead and have it not be a competition, and you know, have it be smooth and balanced and flavorful, that's where the difficulty comes.
Sure. I mean, like you said, 18. You just on the bottle you have agave, blackberry, cranberry, cherry, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, coconut, and it says natural flavors, which I know is like mead terms for other stuff that has to be
Natural flavors, other shit.
exactly other shit that's going to make it taste delicious.
Yep.
So I was just, when I was looking for other stuff on there, I see grapes, I see the cinnamon, I'm assuming that was like an almond or possibly like a nutmeg. We got the marshmallow, we got the pecans, we got the watermelon maybe. So, I mean, this thing just says it's just full of everything. And so you're saying to be able to mix all that stuff and not have it be competing, but still be able to pick up all those flavor profiles. That's, I'm sure, where being a chemist comes into play, you know, knowing how those different aspects all work together.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the fun / trying part, you know, to get all things in there. And, you know, I'm constantly explaining to people, I'm like, yeah, this has all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, okay. And then they taste it and they're like, wow, you know, that's amazing that you have all that in there and it's super well balanced. So
now when you're building something like this, do you think about this from like a culinary aspect? I don't know if you have any culinary background as well, but do you like build layers on layers? Like you get it to a certain point, let's say we're going to start with just the agave, and then we're going to add in just the blackberries, and then the blueberries, and layer like that? Or do you add it in like all the dark berries in one stage? How does something like this come to fruition?
I wish it was that I wish it was that detail involved. As a home mead maker, you know, I was making every single mead you can think of, and it got to the point where my pantry was loaded with adjuncts, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, and we just swiped everything in the pantry into a batch.
Okay.
And at first I had them all out on the kitchen counter, and I hadn't intended on writing anything down, but I ended up writing every single thing down, and I'm glad I did, because it's essentially the same recipe as when I made it as a home mead maker. What I will tell you is it's a pain in the ass, because, it's like, hey, we need 2.2 pounds of this, and we need a quarter pound of that, and we need 4.73 pounds of this, and
Right.
It's just a pain in the ass to make, but
Sure.
everybody loves it, and so maintaining its consistency is important. So
Yeah, the aromatics on this thing are phenomenal. I mean, I can't even, like, every time I go back into the nose, I pick something up. Like, one time it comes back strawberry, one time it comes back blueberry, one time it comes back raspberry.
Yep.
I mean, it's just phenomenal. 1 second for me, my brother. So when you're putting this thing together, you get all that stuff dialed in and everything, and you got your logbook. What makes you want to go back and try to create something this difficult? Is it the challenge of being able to create something like that, or is it what is it? Like, I mean, it seems like something this difficult would be kind of a deterrent to try to recreate. And who the fuck is Ray, just for the record?
So TK, I got to tell you, my assistant mead maker, like,
Oh,
he is your brother from another mother.
yes.
So yesterday I was like, hey, I'm doing an interview with TK. You should tune in. And I showed him a picture of you. He was like, what the fuck? Like, you got the same glasses. You got the same. So everybody's commenting on here. Yeah, that's. They're like, wait, why is Ray doing an interview with you?
Well, that's awesome. This Ray character sounds like he's one hell of a guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty good dude.
Right on, man. So how many cats are involved there at Funktastic altogether, between brewers and front of house and everything?
Me, Ray, my wife Heather. She's on here, I think, and
Hi, Heather.
and then we have one lady that works on a Thursday from time to time. So essentially 4 of us. This is a small. TK, it's still a hobby.
Right.
It's a hobby out of control at this point. So
It's a hobby out of control. That's a fantastic way of putting it. But, I mean, you guys seem to be very successful. I mean, every time I post anything or anything Funktastic comes up anywhere I see on Instagram or in Facebook groups, it's, man, you got to get those guys stuff, or you got to try their stuff, or I can't wait to meet them at Sugar Belt or whatever it was. So you guys have certainly got a cult of personality about you, I mean, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, we have, like I said, being a craft beer nerd and being present in festivals and things like that was always helpful. We got introduced to the craft beer world at festivals. We were, bringing our meads, pouring them alongside the answer, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so it was. It's just been. It's been cool to be able to be a craft beer nerd, and then so as an example, my first Free the Whales was in 2019, and I attended Free the Whales as a participant, and in terms of as an attendee, and now we just got back from Miami and we were there pouring, which was super cool. So.
And anybody that doesn't know, Free the Whales is a Southern Florida beer festival, beer share, giant, just kick-ass beer event.
Yep. And we did it up Florida like. We brought a mead called Smells Like Strippers, which was mango, passion fruit, and watermelon. It may or may not have had a little bit of gold glitter in it. So, trying to do it up Florida way.
Legit. Yeah, you guys certainly don't have a problem doing anything on the more risque side. I mean, if we take a look at our frickin' our Between the Sheets bottle here, this is a collab with, what's her name? Hoppy Floppy. Now, how'd that word come into being? Like, is she a friend of your guys's, or is that just a design that you guys wanted to go with?
Yeah, so this was home mead maker days. Just thinking about ways to, to you know, be different, be advertising in a different way, be marketing in a different way. And
Sure.
I knew her from attending craft beer events.
Oh, okay.
So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I've got this idea for a series of meads. And I was like, would you be interested in doing some photos for the labels? And she was like, hell yeah, I'm in. So
Nice.
it's been pretty cool. And we've actually done we've done 3 labels with her. One was a homebrew label we did called Pillow Talk. We released one called Shh, which was earlier this year, and then Between the Sheets. So that I suspect that there will be probably other labels, either from us or from others. So it's yeah, she's the coolest part for me is that she's high profile, let's say,
Right.
but
Cross promotion.
yeah, but she's also super cool, down to earth. So
Yes, it's definitely cool when you meet somebody like that that's high profile and just a cool person to be on top of that. So it really makes it jive.
yep.
So what's the rest of the year looking like for Funktastic? You say you got some banana meads on the horizon, maybe another Between the Sheets variation or something like that. You got any contests? You guys entering any competitions? Because you got Valkyrie's Horn coming up, you got Major's Cup coming up, you've got a few more on deck as well. Orpheus.
Yeah, so I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know about competitions. We might enter something into Mazer Cup. I think from the traditionalist perspective, much of what we're doing does not bode well for the Mazers. It's I think that tends to be more of a traditionalistic thought process, but we've got some traditional meads that are pretty unique too. So we may enter something into that. We've got all kinds of festivals and shit coming up. So we're going to the Clag Brewing, as in Ohio. So that's On's younger brother. So he has a anniversary event in August. We've got let's see here. We've got One Sweet Day, which is a Fueled by Hops event in September in Erie.
Okay.
We have Powhatan Festival of the Grapes, which is a local wine festival we'll be at. We've got a Spirits Festival in October. We've got Heist Night and Day in October. We'll probably attend the unbranded brewing event down in Florida in December. So we're pretty much. I'm
Booked out.
I'm tired.
I say, man, you just listen to stuff talking about you got this job and your regular job. I'm exhausted for you, brother. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's I suppose I don't need to, in addition to making meads with Ray, I'm also here at the meadery on the weekends pretty much every day. So I'm working behind the bar, and I probably don't need to be doing that, but I enjoy doing it, and I think our customers appreciate being able to come in, talk to the owner, talk to the mead maker, shoot the
100%.
shit. It gives me the opportunity to make it a unique experience, because I'll pull some samples from fermenters for meads that'll be released in 6 months, and it's not often that you go into a meadery or winery and somebody's grabbing you a sample out of a fermenter so you can taste what they're working on. So that's a unique thing. So
That's very true. I agree.
So we've got a collaboration with a distillery in Northern Virginia that'll be introduced in the next couple of months. So it'll be a new mead series. So essentially what we've done is created some series of meads, right? So we have the Funktastic Fizzes. Those are carbonated session. We have the Funktastic Freshies. Those are session meads that are cocktail inspired. So we actually serve those over ice. We've got the Funktastic Fruition. Those are waterless meads. And then the newest one will be called Funktastic Fury. So Funktastic Fury will be a waterless mead, which is fortified with 190 proof grape brandy. So,
Ooh, God damn.
yeah, so it's a pretty badass sort of like it's sort of like a liqueur. Serve it over ice, that kind of thing. And what I've had some in bottles and tested it out with some customers and stuff like that. And what I find is it's really hitting with the liquor drinkers, the bourbon drinkers, the rum drinkers, that kind of thing, because they're looking for something that has more of a punch, is a little less sweet. And here now you've got a mead that really works well with liquor drinkers. So now we've got beer drinkers. I mean, our largest clientele are beer drinkers by far. So you got beer drinkers, you got wine drinkers, you've got liquor drinkers. So we're, trying to bridge the gaps between all these things. So
that's definitely one gap I've yet to see truly try to be bridged, at least in this type of aspect where you're really fermenting them a product, or fermenting a product with them in the mind. In the end, I understand you're fortifying it with the great brandy. Does it come across harsh or anything like that? I mean, did you find a quality great brandy to use? I mean, I imagine that could come across like MD 2020 grape or something, like if done improperly.
yeah. So the guy sent me a sample of his grape brandy, and it's 190 proof, so it's the same as grain alcohol, right? But he's using grapes instead of grains, and you drop it on your tongue and it evaporates instantly. And the thing I notice is that it evaporates instantly, but it doesn't burn from your mouth to your asshole. It just goes mouth to like your esophagus and then kind of stops. So it's the brandy itself is harsh, but you mix that with a 9% waterless mead, and it's straight raspberries, and it's sweet. Then you knock the sweetness down, you increase the ABV, and you've got this really unique beverage. So
are you using that? I can't remember what you called it. The waterless one that you're doing. Are you using that same process then and adding the grape brandy in it to create the Fury?
Correct.
That's pretty fucking legit, dude. So that seems like that one's going to have like a. Have you had any like real? Obviously, you've mentioned that you've got feedback, so you've had to have a couple test batches. Are you sticking with like one flavor profile with that one, or are you just going to kind of just go across the board?
So no test batches, just a test bottle.
Oh, that
I've been pouring it here in the meadery just to get people's feedback. And
yeah.
So the one we're starting with is a raspberry. You probably can't see, but I'm covered in blackberry because we pressed about 100 pounds of blackberries by hand today. So the next one will be blackberry. So what essentially, I can't show you the picture because it's on my phone, but so essentially the label art is it's really cool label art, and then it's a tank, but the tank has a flag on it, and the flag will indicate which flavor it is. So the flag will have a raspberry on it, or it'll have a blackberry on it, or whatever.
Got you.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think my target is September-ish time frame. Again, back to the colas and the formulas. The formulas approved. That's the thing that I thought was going to give me the biggest problem. So that's all squared away. So now I just need to get my wife to finish designing the label so we can submit it. So
gotcha. Man, I'm telling you, every time I drink this smorgasbord, again, if people are saying that's one of their favorites down there, I'm absolutely in love with this. Another berry, the agave comes through, the coconut comes through. This was a well planned and well thought out endeavor, my brother. Like I said, pinch more acidity, and tannins would do it like take it up to like the umph degree for me. But this is, I'm dying to see what more funktastic stuff is out there. Holy cow!
Yeah, so I think, you know, obviously you can tell that we tend to the sweet side of things.
Oh, definitely.
And that's in general, those are the things that we enjoy.
Yeah.
So you can tell that, you know, maybe the tannins aren't where they need to be. But if you get something like Black or the Berry, where we took blackberry, black cherry, black currant, black raspberry, that drinks more like a sweet wine. So there, you definitely get hit with tannins from the berries on that one. So, you know, like it's a matter of, you know,
personal preference.
Well, not only that, but what we're going for in each one of those meads. So Making Moves is another good example where we took red currant, pomegranate, and vanilla beans.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that one. When people walk in the door and they say, "I don't like sweet wines," that's the first one I'll give them, because it is a sweet wine, but because of the pomegranate and red currant and the way those things, those tart fruits work with the sweetness, I've had 100%, I would say 100% feedback from non-sweet wine drinkers saying this was awesome. And that's super cool. So then I get to go, well, so you are a sweet wine drinker then. You know, and I love messing with people that way. So
no, I agree 100%, dude. That's freaking rad. I'm like I said, I'm absolutely in love with it. It to me, it's like every time I take a pour, I swirl the bottle, I take a pour. Okay, now what do I pour right there? Was that mostly raspberry? Was that mostly blueberry? It seems like you can't, like every time it's like a Rubik's Cube or something, like you're getting something different. So, compliments to the chef on this one. You and my doppelganger over there have definitely got this shit dialed the fuck in.
I'm definitely, when we get off the phone, I'm going to text you a picture of him so you know exactly what we're talking about.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. You got a couple more minutes to answer a few more questions?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So I wanted to go ahead and open this up to anybody who didn't think it was already open. If there's any viewer questions, anybody watching's got any questions here for Matt or anything, or me for some reason, go ahead and shoot those across. So what's the future for Funktastic Meads? You guys trying to grow into like a bigger production facility to eventually like be a bigger thing? You try to keep it on like the small, micro, nano craft scale and just maintain them day jobs on top of that? Where do we see the Funktastic future?
I actually talking to my wife about this last night. I think we can increase our production probably about 50% in the current location. I mean, we're nano, we're small, we're doing really small, unique stuff. So we could probably distribute some more.
Right.
So from a revenue perspective, there's some potential for growth. I like the craft stuff. I mean, we've got. Let me look real quick. I'm sitting in the meadery, so
yeah.
So this is production area.
Love your floors, by the way. Those floors are fucking legit.
Thank you, sir. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12 batches going in the production area, and then I've got I don't know. Let's see here. A little sneak peek. Got those.
Woo! Hell yeah!
So we've got probably 25 different meads in process right now. So, you know, this is the stuff I like. I like doing unique things, and I like the small batch stuff. So we've talked about increasing some of them to larger batches just to maybe decrease our decrease. We've got we've I'm making meads now for specific events. So as I mentioned, the One Sweet Day event, that's a 90s themed craft beer festival. So I spent $36 on a 10-pack of High C Ecto Cooler on eBay because I couldn't remember what it tasted like. It tastes pretty much like shit, and it looks pretty awful. There's a reason why they put them in the in those cardboard cartons so you can't see it, because it looks like greenish brown liquid. It's pretty fucking awful.
Yeah.
So we're messing around with that idea, and then Monster Energy drink was also released late 90s. So we're thinking about something like that. And then for our still, we're bringing a mead called No Crust, which is peanut butter and jelly. So that's a timeless, that's 80s, 90s, 60s, 70s. So
Everybody.
Yep.
So we had with Jimmy hit us up with, how did you create the Swedish fish mead? Because it was hella Swedish fish and loved it.
Yeah.
Was that legit Swedish fish in there?
No. So that's where some of these breweries and stuff go wrong. It's diligence. It's finding the right products, and then also partnering those right products with the right carriers. Let's say, so we use pomegranate juice as a carrier for a flavor. Pomegranate juice being more on the more tart and bitter side, and then this flavor we have it took us some time to find it, but it's Swedish fish. I've had every single Swedish fish beer that I've ever had has not been Swedish fish.
Right.
So the traditional berry for Swedish fish is lignanberry. That's what the flavor is based off of. So you can use a little bit of lignanberry, but it requires some other efforts to do, and unfortunately, that's one that I keep close to the vest. So,
short answer, Jimmy, is become a chemist and figure it out. No, I love that, man. That's one thing I don't see. You see a ton of mead makers out there always offering up their recipes and this, that, and the other thing, and it's a little refreshing. It's just like, you know what? No, this is one I want to keep me. This is just for us.
Somebody will figure it out at some point, but until then, it's our most popular session is F&M, and second to that is Swedish fish. So
if that F&M is I could definitely see how that's your most popular. Now, I did see one. I'm trying to pull it if I can find it all the way back here. Looks like it might have been a clone of somebody else's mead. It's called Blue Swaying Shoes.
Yeah. So
I'm dying to try that, by the way.
That was an homage to Matt at Pips.
Yeah.
It's one of the best meads I've ever had. I obviously had a conversation with Matt about it, and the likeness, and the name literally came from one of my buddies, is a craft beer nerd. He was like, I was like, have you ever had blue suede shoes? And he was like, what? Blue suede shoes? And I was like, I like that. So, that was my homage to him, was trying to create something that was similar. So, I mean, you look at everyone else's, every other meadery's got a blueberry cashew mead. I think people got hung up on the fact that it said blue swaying shoes, but let's be real. It was a pair of Converse hanging from a telephone
wire.
There's not much else that's like that. So
no, when I saw it, I was like, that's probably one of the most clever, if not the most clever not knockoff, but like alteration, variation that you could have seen of something along that the name lines at least, because I'll tell you what, man, that I actually like that label. That label's legit as fuck.
Yep. Yeah, that one
Seven.
was actually done by Kyle Rage, so another guy that does labels for us from time to time. So
Yeah, for a second there, I was like, is that Downtown? Is that like some Dodger brand shoes or something? It totally looks like it.
yeah.
Seven Circle said he's going to need another raspberry snowballs out of you, my man.
Yeah. So next raspberry mead is going to be that Funktastic Fury, and then
Yes.
we've had a raspberry white chocolate mead in a fermenter since we opened, so that'll come probably next February-ish
Nice.
time frame. So
Very cool. Awesome, my man. Well, we got a couple quick rapid fire questions that come at you, then I'll let you get out of here because I know it is late over there, and let you go out and get about your business. So, what's the first thing you do up in the when you get up in the morning there?
I'm gonna take a shit.
Hot or cold?
Oh, you mean at the meadery?
I mean, you answer the question however you want to answer it, Playboy.
First thing I do when I get to the meadery is turn on the lights and make sure there isn't any meat on the floor.
It's always a good one. Make sure we don't have any freaking bottle bombs or any explosions.
Yeah.
Hot or cold? Hot person, cold person?
I prefer to be cold.
Use your turn signal.
As long as I'm not going 85 miles an hour, yes.
Does pineapple belong on your pizza?
No.
Toilet paper, over the front, over the back.
Over the top.
What's the first mead you ever got trashed on?
A variant of Weight of the World.
Ooh.
And if you'd like a little excerpt from that, I can tell
Sure.
you. So On's a genius when it comes to adjuncting, and so he took a bottle of Weight of the World, blended that with a bourbon, added maple syrup and vanilla beans in a bottle, and from that point, one of my buddies drank quite a bit of it along with the rest of us, and then he believed that he could rap. So he went on the deck at the answer and began to pretend like he could rap, and then Rap Juice was born. So there is a mead on Untapped that you'll find called Rap Juice, which is Weight of the World, bourbon, maple, and cinnamon, and vanilla.
Holy cow. That sounds like probably the best way to get trapped on your first meat as opposed to something that tastes like rocket fuel. Tacos or burgers?
Burgers.
If you could have any superpower?
Ugh, fuck. I don't know.
I always hit people hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I mean, as long as it doesn't go out of style, I'd just print money, man.
Oh, my man. That's hilarious. Favorite breakfast cereal when you were a kid?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
And we already know that you're a chemist in your day job, but if you weren't a chemist or a mead maker, what would your day job be?
Probably be a brewer.
There you go. One last question from Seven Circle. We going to see Blondie again?
That's the one I was referring to. So, yeah,
Oh.
so it's white chocolate raspberry blondie.
Gosh, you. So that would definitely be something that's going to be happening eventually there, Seven.
For
So,
sure.
I appreciate your time tonight, Matt, man. Thank you so much for sending me a couple of these meads. Let me buy these from you and all that jazz. So the smorgasbord, definitely pick that up if anybody who's out there that can. I'm not sure if you'll be able to pick up the root beer. Definitely get that if he's got that in stock as well. The frickin' meadery. I didn't get to try the blackberry one, but I'm sure that from everything else I've tasted, that one's just a banger as well. So, again, thank you, Matt, for stopping by tonight. I appreciate your time, and I'm going to let you go get about the rest of your evening.
No problem, man. And I'll send you that picture here in just a second.
Yes. Yeah, let me see. Let me see my doppelganger, my brother from another mother. All right.
Man.
Have a good one, man.
Yep. Bye.
See you later. So, let's see if I can't. Nope. There we go. Funktastic has left the building. So thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Matt, awesome. Thank you for showing up here tonight. See if I can't find that picture that he sends me. I'll see if I can get that posted up. See TK and the Ray doppelganger. Join me next week when I believe I'll be here with Four Fires Meadery. Anybody who shows up this long into it gets to know a little sneak peek into the future. We're going to be talking with Four Fires Meads coming up. That's going to be Mr. Christopher Clark, that same cat that came up with the meadery flavor. Maybe we'll pop in another drink on that and see what he has to say and give his 2 cents on that as well. So thank you all for being here tonight. I will see you all next Tuesday for another TK Drinks What's the Story interview. Peace.